I think firstly, optometrists, particularly young emerging optometrists today who are going to be in the forefront of this aging population, need to be very, very cognizant of all of the new research going on, all of the new treatments, all of the new diagnostic aspects of these diseases, so that they can integrate that into their practice. I also think co-management becomes more important. I think co-management with ophthalmology for optometry is an important aspect of taking care of the patient, because there's certain things that the optometrist is going to do better than what the ophthalmologist is going to do. If we look at how reimbursement has been impacted with new technology, there's a great example from the intraocular lens world, from the cataract world. With the advent of new technology, cataract type procedures, and premium channel, what they call premium channel IOLs. So these are IOLs that correct aberrations, that correct presbyopia, multifocal type IOLs, and so on. There's a new category of reimbursement in the premium channel, and that is if you have a high-tech lens, there's a different way that you can reimburse it under Medicare. So instead of getting just the Medicare reimbursement, which is not very high for cataract, you can now balance bill, and the patient is responsible for that billing. Now, that impacts, I believe, co-management. If the ophthalmologist is working with an optometrist and is able to bill more in terms of the premium channel, there should be more opportunity for the optometrist to actually share in that reimbursement. So those kinds of things which happened under the Medicare plan, I think are very interesting, because it gives opportunity to the surgeon, most importantly the patient, is able to get a premium product, even though they do have to share in the payment of it, which I think is certainly appropriate. And I think that the optometrists need to become aware of this and start working this into their co-management with the ophthalmologist. So I think that's one area that is in the IOL area that is very, very open right now, and something that ought to be learned about. The second area that I think not too many people think about, we'll talk about AMD. So there's new treatments for AMD today. The AMD treatments are anti-VEGF. They are very effective. I think everybody's probably heard of Lucentis and Avastin and some of the new VEGF inhibitors that are coming onto the market that are currently in FDA review. And what these entail are intravitreal injections. So what's happened with this is the retinologists' offices logistically have become so difficult to manage because of the number of people coming through for an intravitreal injection, because in order to maintain the effect, these patients have to have an injection every 6 weeks. So every 6 weeks you've got this group of patients coming back simply to get intravitreal injections. But it does take time, and it plugs up the office. Now, what's been shown in the data with the clinical trials that have been run with the VEGF inhibitors is that it doesn't only stop the progression, but there's a significant number of these patients that their vision actually gets better. And I think in order to optimize this patient's vision, it's critical that an optometrist do an absolutely perfect refraction. I think these patients deserve to have as good a vision as possible, considering they've got a disease that is going to rob that vision if they don't get the VEGF inhibitor. But if they do, they need to have proper focus. I don't believe that most retina offices have the capabilities or the facilities based on the logistics today to actually do what's needed for those patients. So I think that's another opportunity for the optometrist to co-manage and make sure that the retinologist knows, look, I know you're doing the VEGF injections, these patients are probably doing a lot better. Maybe you have a refractionist in your office, but I think I can do a better job.
So you see a much more active role for optometrists. So you have these mega trends of numbers of patients coming in because of the aging of the population and all these disease states. So now there's great opportunity there as well to be an active participant in the care of those patients and to profit from it.
And what's interesting is the opportunity comes from what optometrists do the best,
Yes.
which is optics.
Right.
Okay, and I just gave you the AMD example. Probably more importantly is IOLs.
Mm.
When these patients are being seen for a specialty type IOL, one of the key issues that everybody's grappling with right now is getting the exact correction for that IOL.
Mm.
And a lot of times, most of the time, it's either within a diopter. Hopefully now within half a diopter is what people are trying to get to. Post-operative astigmatism. Patients will not accept that. If they balance paying for their surgery, they want perfect vision.
Mm-hmm.